Follow your passion, because everybody goes, follow your passion. But what is your passion? So one, what's your passion? Two, why is it your passion? Nobody understands, again, why their passion is. Every passion should allow you to define yourself at higher levels of, say, awakening.
Corporate job, working, trying to climb the corporate ladder, sitting in a cubicle 9 to 5, but your heart is pulling you in a different direction. In your heart, you feel like you want to paint, you want to travel, but you can't possibly do those things because society has told you you should be right where you are, climbing the corporate ladder. And so we want to talk today about how can you uncover or reveal your natural tendency, your natural gifts, the things that you're best at, and have the confidence to pursue it. So that's what we're going to talk about today on the XI podcast with Masati. Mas, you know what I'm talking about, right? That scenario of so many people who just do what society tells them to do, but yet
Absolutely.
Somehow they feel like there's something missing inside of themselves because they're not pursuing their gift. How can we help people better pursue their gifts? Maybe identify what they are and then pursue it.
There's so many, different, say, wormholes that we can travel down into. The biggest factor is like when you're trying to find a gift, or when you're trying to find your gift, are you finding yourself in the journey or in that process, or as you reach that goal? So I guess the number one factor is, like most people, again, they want to find a gift, or they have a talent or gift. Sometimes that gift might make them money, sometimes it doesn't. Nowadays, though, it's really fantastic because there's so many different opportunities for people to actually make money with their gifts. There's so many, again, fantastic opportunities that we've never had in the past before, right? People just talk about something on, their YouTube channel, and it's their favorite thing, and they could make a lot of money off it. Again, so these opportunities are out there. Are you one of those people who are willing to step out? So that's number one, are you willing to really, really step out and like acknowledge who you are and what you really want to do, or what you really want to be outside of society's norms, right? And obviously it depends on how old you are and where you are in the life cycle, depending on which steps you take first. And I talk about that because a lot of times, when I work on kids, it's like, it's their parents' idea of what the kid should grow up to be. It's their concept of, like in my family, you had to be a doctor. If you weren't a doctor, you weren't anything else. You weren't anybody if you weren't a doctor. So that, and I think in many cultures is like that as well, right?
Yeah.
So again,
doctor or a lawyer,
a doctor or a lawyer, whatever it might be, right? Somebody successful, right? So again, and then that would equate, say, happiness. But again, most of those cases, they're not really, really happy. Why are you pursuing the gift that you think you have? So no matter what age group, or no matter where you are, who you are, the number one aspect is, again, what is it that you're pursuing? Okay, you want to ask is like, what is it that you're pursuing? Is it money? Is it better career? Is it like painting? You want to make money off your paintings, or, you really have a passion of, I don't know, tasting foods, or, just like Anthony Bourdain did. So it doesn't really matter, right? So the key that I'm bringing that out for you using Anthony is really highly important, because he started to have that passion for what he did, but look what happened to him. Look at where he ended up. Okay. So just because you pursued your passion, does that mean that you're just going to be in bliss state and then you're going to live that life of the fairy tale forever? Anthony surely didn't, and a lot of other people didn't either. Okay. So we have to understand why, again, you're pursuing your passion. And just to pick on, not to pick on Anthony, but use Anthony as a case study, because it'll really clarify, the message that I'm trying to get across, because it is kind of difficult without an example. So for Anthony, he had a great knack for being a fantastic cook, known everywhere, turned it into a passion of his, which really excited him. And that's what most people do. They get to that level, which really excites them. But then they don't look, and this is where Anthony, if if Anthony was still alive and if you're going through this process, this is what you should look at. Okay, why are you excited about, or why are you so passionate about your success in whatever that you're doing? Okay. One, and this is the key. One, are you doing it to escape your original version of who you are? Are you doing it to escape the pain and the shame and the suffering and all that stuff that came along with it, to create another identity of yourself? Okay. If you're doing that, as you grow even more successful, like Anthony, you'll start to create two of yourselves. And this is where the successful version looks at the unsuccessful version that's still there. And then what happens is that that successful version starts to hate the original version more and more and more. And that's where that disconnect happens. So that's an extreme version on, again, follow your passion, because everybody goes, follow your passion. But what is your passion? So one, what's your passion? Two, why is it your passion? Nobody understands, again, why their passion is. Every passion should allow you to define yourself at higher levels of, say, awakening for yourself. Whether you're painting a bridge or whether you're painting the Mona Lisa, is that allowing you to define who you are in space-time more and more? Basically, is that allowing you to define who you are as a human in this reality, experiencing yourself as human? So again, that's what should be your main purpose or your main passion right there. No matter what passion it is, again, is that passion allowing you to again, really become your best possible version of yourself, where you can actually say, embrace yourself, where you can actually come to a point or heighten yourself to a level where you can heal, say, the burdens or the traumas of physical form. Most people, again, create a passion or a calling in life that they normally don't follow, again, because it's there to escape whatever they're escaping from. So once you find your passion, okay, again, it should be a well-defined passion, just like I defined it for you. Two, what are you going to do about that passion? Okay, how are you going to go towards it? That's the second half. Most people who have a passion or define their passion, and then they go towards that trajectory. This is the problem. This is a huge problem. They're here, they leave their old selves here, and then they go towards that passion. They move themselves out of their identity of, again, space and time. So they lose themselves. And then this is where they get caught up in fulfilling, say, the passion, or fulfilling, trying to be successful in, say, their passion that really gave them a lot of, say, happiness in the beginning. The reason why it doesn't give them happiness, the closer they get to their goal, or the closer they get to achieving their goal or their passion into a success or into, say, a career, they start to lose, or they start to look, it's like, gosh, you know what? During the journey, I lost myself getting to what made me happy. So by the time those individuals, again, I talk to many entrepreneurs, they have a great passion to start something. By the end of the road where they're really successful, they go, Moss, you know what? I lost myself. I lost my spouse. I lost everything because of that passion. They lost themselves. Again, they didn't expand themselves. They lost themselves on their journey. And then when they reached the goal, they realized how much that passion cost them.
And is it often because people are pursuing, let's say, a passion, a gift, or something that they are skilled at for the money?
They're, most of the time, it's a yes and no question. And the reason why it's a yes and no question is because most people think that if they go for their passion, which gives them money, it will solve the problem, the underlying problem that they have deep inside, finding themselves. That makes sense to you. So most people think that success or money is going to solve their underlying problems or pains or hurts. Again, a unification of who they are. It doesn't. It just magnifies your passion, again, or pursuing your passion without finding yourself first will magnify the distortions that you are. It's not that God is playing, an evil trick on you or anything like that, or trying to keep you away from all that stuff. It just means that, hey, you know what? If you really want to become abundant with this passion of yours, that means that you have to release all this bullshit that you're holding on to. So that's why it's a magnifier. But most people look at it and they don't know how to release all that bullshit that they have to let go of. They want to pack it into their new life and they can't. That's where XI comes in. It's like, yes, I see all the stuff that's holding me back, the stuff that I don't need to take on into my next, say, journey of life, into that new identity with my passion, say, being my source of income, or being my mainstay of whatever it might be, spiritual connection, source of income, or whatever it might be. It's just, again, those things become a magnifier. If you're exponentially intelligent, you'll start to see it's like, yes, these are all the weaknesses that I'm having. I need to let go of them or turn them into strength so I can like grow and expand with my passion.
And so, if you grow and expand with if you are able to let some of that go and you grow and expand yourself, and you're really finding, as you said, finding yourself, yes, perhaps then your gifts might be more, how would you say, like, be able to recognize those gifts more readily if you are actually really secure and understand who you really are at a deep level.
Well, and that's the key to finding yourself or finding your passion. People go, well, how do I know what my passion is? Well, you find yourself. You center yourself. You come into space-time. You come into a deep understanding, again, between your physical self, your limitless self. You come together as one. You will naturally gravitate towards your passion, even without trying, because that's your natural, that's your natural next step of your evolutionary process. That's what you can do that.
You can do that. So you would do that, and that would happen naturally without you even really trying. I think that really resonated with me. I think it will resonate with a lot of people because it feels effortless. So identifying your gift or the thing that you're supposed to be doing might naturally just come to you without you even really trying or trying to force the issue. Yes. Whereas, you see, and I think there are, there's a $1 billion business built on this concept of, I got to coach you to find your passion and all of this. You don't necessarily have to do it that way, right?
It's a business.
It's a business
that they make money out of.
Business. You're right. It's been turned into a business, but you can, if you find yourself, you're more likely and more naturally going to gravitate toward your gift just naturally and without even trying. I think that's
it's a law. Albert Einstein, it's one of his laws. Again, if you're starting to vibrate at the resonance, there's no way in hell that you can't attract or create that in your life for you. So again, just to sum it up, overall, try not to find your passion first, okay? Find yourself first. Identify who you are, your limited version or your time-bound version, and your timeless version. Some of you might call it your spirit. Again, reconnect with yourself by doing exponential intelligence, 18 days or something. You'll start to define who you are. You'll start to define, again, a clear, concise, identity of who you are. Once you have that clear, concise identity, you'll have the wherewithal, the confidence, the completeness, the materials, physical materials like money or whatever, again, to guide you towards your passion. So it's not just like an empty, you're not just jumping into an abyss trying to create a passion for yourself. You've got the wherewithal. You've got the tools behind you that'll perpetuate you to turn that passion into something dynamic for you. And you don't lose yourself. Again, a lot of individuals, they go after their passion, like I talked about with Anthony Bourdain, because they want to escape their previous identity of who they are. You can't escape that. You have to fix that or create or heal that, and then move on to your passion. And then if Anthony did that, he'd still be around, by the way. And so many other great individuals that have done the same thing as Anthony.
That's awesome. I love it, Moss. This is fantastic. So I think what we'll do is we'll link up to your website and obviously the information that people can tap into to be able to do exactly what you just said. Go on the path of finding yourself first,
Right.
and then let things naturally fall into place after that. So thank you very
Yeah.
much for sharing that.
Yeah. And I think right now, it's like, well, how do you just get that fresh start just to like recreate yourself all over, right? Because that's what most people are really looking for, right? They're really literally trying to go, okay, whatever's happened in the past, COVID and all this stuff that, it's come up in our lives, showing up all our problems. Again, that's a great opportunity for you to see all your problems and do something about it. Get a fresh start. And that's where Total Human Reset Awaken is literally all about, guys. Yeah, and it's coming up really quick. It allows you to reset all aspects of your life so you can become spherically abundant, including finding your passion. So.
And Moss, we did a video on, which we'll link up around this one, where we did a video on exactly that, about how do you get a fresh start in your life. So we'll link that video up to this one as well.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for sharing those
Thank you.
insights. And for the audience watching or listening, be sure to follow the XI podcast for more great conversations to help you move your life in the right direction. Thank you so much, Moss.
Thank you. Bye-bye.